All right, Kels, thank you for telling me I was muted. I appreciate that. Anyway, we're doing a little solo stream today, and basically the goal here is just to show Sharp Money members how to efficiently, use our bots in all of our channels. There's a ton of channels here at Sharp Money, so it can be very overwhelming. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it. I'll be on for 30 minutes to an hour, finding plays, answering questions, whatever you guys want answered. Let me know. So I don't have many bets today. Actually, first I want to do a little recap of my weekend because I had a really good weekend betting on the NFL. If we look at yesterday, I had 94 bets in, ended up $1,300. I wagered over 12 grand yesterday, 10% ROI. So really good stuff there. My running back projections absolutely went off. I think I probably made, actually, it was probably the majority of my profits was from the running back projections there. But this month, I've done very well so far. If I go to calendar, my Sundays have been all green, which is great. Saturdays have been all red, which is not good. So I need to figure out college football a little bit better, but NFL has been good recently. And you see a lot of these empty days, which I never have. This is the first. I was in the Dominican Republic from the 1st to the 10th. So I already had some bets placed that settled there, but I went, 10 days without betting, and I'm still up, 3,500 this month, which is awesome. And Timmy was trying to fix the audio on his side. Anyway, so another thing I'll mention too is I am now exclusively going to make Sharp Money content. If you guys were, for the past over a year, I've been making content for the Outlier YouTube channel and doing multiple live streams for them every week. And it was such a great opportunity for me. And I built a great relationship for everyone over at Outlier, and they have amazing tools, amazing team, and really excited to continue using their product and seeing what they're going to build. But basically, during our last meeting with Sharp Money, as a group, the other owners kind of pitched me the idea. We were talking about how to make more content, get more views, and they basically said, hey, like, why don't we just kind of buy you out of whatever Outlier is doing for you? We'll match it, and you can just start making all of your content for Sharp Money. And that, to me, I mean, that's awesome. I want to just be dialed in on one company. It was always kind of this weird balance of promoting both at the same time, and I think at first we were all a little like worried about how it would fit, but I think the relationship between us and Outlier is actually really good in the end, and I'm glad we built it. So all right, let's see. Yeah, so Jacob's been the opposite, where he's been killing college football and NFL not so much, besides the VIP. So I mean, I could break down my tags a little bit more. Brayton in the truck driving home, that new Bronco. All right, so let me look at, because I'll just be honest, like where I'm winning and losing this year. I might actually be down on NFL still. All right, never mind. I'm actually doing pretty good in the NFL. Yeah, so I had that dip to the start of the season, but I've came back 3% ROI. A lot of that probably has, like, if you just look at my running back projections, I mean, that's probably the majority. That's all my NFL profits are from my running back model. So that means my bot has not been doing good. So if I look into Sharp Money bot for NFL this year, down $2,770. And it really seems like that was one or two bad weeks. So that's something that will straighten out. CLV is 63% here, which should be better. I want to see like 70. I really want to see like almost 2.5% expected value. So I need to be a little bit more selective on my NFL bets using the bot, I would say. And let's look at college football, which I'm down on. Another one too, is like this one weekend just hammered me. It was the same weekend, actually. It was a big dip. But yeah, down there too. And CLV is even worse. So I definitely need to be better at picking these plays. A lot of it has come down to, like, I've just been in my own life just so much busier recently. So like I feel like I'm not as selective because I just want to get bets in. As someone who I was always, on the weekends getting hundreds of bets down, to someone now where I'm like kind of busy, it's like if I get down, 30 bets, I got to feel good with it. So a lot of my bets I'll be placing on Novig today. I'm going to log in because I like to make some markets where with bets that I can't get down on books like the Canby books and stuff like that. All right. Yeah. How did everyone else do this weekend, though? No one else have a good weekend? And so the other part of the stream, we're going to go through some promos later too, but we got Monday Night Football tonight, 2 good games. So hopefully we can find a play there. All right, let's scroll up to top of this chart on FanDuel to see if we have any plays we want to look at. So Seahawks versus the Texans, under 18.5 for the first half total points. We're getting plus 150 on FanDuel. It's about a 3% edge to the current Pinnacle line. So we also want to just take a look at where Circa and Bookmaker are. And they're sitting at, Bookmaker is sitting at, 20.5 points minus 120. It's really hard to know the value of the half points for the first half because they're worth so much. But the difference between, it's just hard to, it's a 3% edge. So I'd really be looking for a good chart. And this doesn't scream good line movement to me. We see like a Pinnacle limit go 5K to 10K and the line snap up getting bet backwards. So I think that's one I would just avoid. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about NBA props for sure once we get through some of these main lines. All right, Lions versus the Bucks tonight. Another alternate under. Like I've been really just avoiding these alt unders unless they're getting slammed, and it's the same line movement as the other one basically, even though it's a different game. So yeah, we're gonna avoid that one. Same thing. We're getting all the alt unders flagged, so I'm skipping these. All the same movement. What you could do here too is use like Bucks Lions. So obviously the money is starting to move towards the over. We have a fair value price 117. So that means if we wanted the over, like if I go on, so I'll make this market on Novig. If I know the fair value is 117, where'd that just go? Hold on. One of the bets just moved on me. Oh, it might have cleared. I can do the same. All right, I'll just do it on this one. So same thing, the Bucks versus the Lions, under 23.5, plus 164. The fair value is plus 162. And I know this market is moving pretty heavily towards the over. So that's why I don't want to place this bet. But what I do is I want to place the other side of the bet at better than fair value price because we're getting that steam. So if I can take this at better than minus 162 for the over 23.5, then that's a bet I want to take. So I'm going to go over to Novig and make this market. First, unless the price is already there, which I really doubt it. And unfortunately, Novig doesn't have alt lines. So I want to make this first half market, but they only have over 26.5, which our bot isn't playing. So I'm going to go a step further and go to Pinnacle Odds Dropper, which tracks Pinnacle movement. I'm going to see their alt line and price it from there. So Lions, Bucks, show the alts, and we're looking at the first half. So we're looking at over 26.5. We want to get a good price on that. So fair value is minus 112. If you see this good market direction, that's the side you want to be on. So over 26.5 minus 112. So I want the over 26.5 at a better price than minus 112, which it is not. It's minus 115. So I'm going to make this I can make it for minus 108, and I'll be best in the market on the other side. So I'm not too worried about this bet steaming against me, but we'll set it for just 1 hour here and place that order. Kyle, this is a good question. I was just actually my first video that I'm going to make on Tuesday, tomorrow, is about Pickett and the different options they have. I'm going to do like a little review on it and talk about Pickett Plus and Pickett Pro. I'll give you a quick rundown while we're here, because I was just looking at the Pickett Pro features. So I'll just show you while I'm up here. Let's see, where are the features? So what you really oh yeah, right here. Here's like the checklist of everything that it has. So I think the Picket Plus is definitely worth it. This is almost like the free product they're used to have, where you had your bet filtering, you had historical calendars, you had your bet tagging, obviously the social features, the line shopping, the bet tracking. That's all included in Plus, which I think is pretty much a necessity if you are Plus EV better looking to make money. I think having Picket Plus is yeah, just really essential. And I think that's $12 a month. If you do it for the it's 100, so you can save a little money if you did the year of Plus. But I think Picket Plus is definitely worth it. Picket Pro, I mean, personally, I have Picket Pro. I don't necessarily know if I would recommend it to everyone. There's some cool features there, like it tells you what promos are available for your books. So like it'll give you an alert where if you don't use a promo when the game's about to start, it'll literally flag your phone and say, "Hey, go bet this promo." For me, I don't really get promos anymore, so I don't really care about it too much. And all my promos are $5 anyway, so it's almost not even worth my time going in there to click the button. So if you're trying to attack promos, then it's good. Same game parlay line shopping. The CLV analysis is actually pretty good. Like I said on my picket, so I don't know if you'll get this if you don't have the pro feature, which kind of sucks. So this is very helpful and it's a target I want to shoot for. Usually shoot for about 70% CLV beat, and I shoot for 2.5, but obviously winning at 2.3 gets it done as well. All right, we got Buzzy. What's going on, man? I'll get to your question in a second. Mark said he missed having Novig. It just got eliminated. So here's what I'll tell you is Novig has raised a lot of money and they have a huge customer base with tons of volume, tons of liquidity in it. I think my guess is that they will eventually try to get into the prediction markets and switch from a sweepstakes model to whatever model that is. So hopefully one day it'll be a federally regulated market where you can bet back into it. That's just my read on the situation. Sweepstakes are slowly getting banned, and Novig's aware of that, and I'm sure they got plans to continue growing. All right, with make orders, do you consistently see them get filled, and how much do you react if your order doesn't get filled? So if you are filling an order, like if you can be top of book right before game time, like they're getting filled like 100% of the time. If I did like I'm betting some stuff now at 4 o'clock, the games aren't for 4 hours. Um, Most likely, if I'm not top of book, it's not going to get filled unless the market seems heavy against me. So it's kind of hit or miss. Like I said, if you're doing it right before game time, you're getting filled like all the time. I would say it's like 50-50. It's definitely worth the time doing, especially if you're really limited on accounts. I had a feedback call with Pickett a few weeks ago and complained. Yeah, so it kind of sucks. Like all the Pickett was free. It's still such a good free app, but when it was free, I mean, everyone got like all their stuff stripped away. Like it sucks that no one was grandfathered into like Pickett, like the Pickett Plus kind of plan. Here's some tennis. Camille, we're at $1,800 limits and clear market towards Camille's money line against Ben Shelton here. This was earlier in the day, so I wonder if this is still live. This bet might not have cleared. Oh, that stupid Amazon outage. I can't even bet on FanDuel. That's annoying. I swear it was just up though, not long ago. Maybe it's going in and out. That kind of sucks. That's probably why these plays are up here. They're probably stale too. All right, not on Picket. MGM is empty. Let's look at Camby books. One thing you're going to start seeing, we're just finishing up our NFL bot. So you're going to see some plays come in. They're missing the pinnacle charts right now. So I would honestly just probably ignore them until we have line movement on them. But that should be done sometime this week. I was just talking to the developer about it. Actually, it might just be money lines because here we have a team total under 2.5, but not great movement there. There's some soccer. I'm really just looking for bigger events. It's really the money lines. Did anyone catch on Fliff? Actually, I just hit it. It was right before I got on stream. Actually, I think it was the Blue Jays game under 7.5. It was crazy good EV play. All right, Fanatics. Let's take a peek at Fanatics. All right, we got some movement. All right, Lions Bucks over 51.5 points. Big steam towards the over. Bookmaker and Circa are sitting at 53 total points. So their main lines they blew right by this 51.5 number. So I don't think I can do this from, I have to do this on my phone. So Lions Bucks, Fanatics doesn't have a website. Over 51.5. Man, I'm getting the error message too. Some features might not be available from probably this this data issue here. Lions Bucks over 51.5 minus 125. Let me know if you guys were able to get this bet in. I should start tracking the live stream plays too. Over 51.5. So this line has moved as well. So that one's not there. Yeah, I moved to 135 real quick. So that play will probably clear. Okay, here's some big plays. So huge steam just came in on the blue. I was just talking about this. I just hit 7.5. So I mean, I can hit this on. Let's see. MGM's probably crashed too, but Blue Jays Mariners under 6.5 plus 150 on MGM right now is a very, very good play. Limits just increased from $15,000 to $20,000, and we have like 25 cents of directional steam here, which is insane. This is one of the biggest. Like I would hit this pretty hard if I could. I'm probably going to get about 3 pennies down. I would probably go almost a full unit on this play because the steam is just so good. And then once I'm logged in here, I'm going to go to Novig and see if I can get money down too. My guess is I can get less than $10 down in this market. Oh, did I withdraw all my money? I only have $150 because no one ever lets me bet more than 100. Let's see. $10 playoff baseball game where Pinnacle is accepting $20,000 max bets. MGM will accept $10.08. It's funny. All right, so let's go over to MLB. So under 6.5, we wanted that plus 150. We can get it there. We can get plus 148, which I'll take the worst price. I'll take the slightly worse price to get more money down, to get on this play, to get on the steam. Like we're probably buying it at fair value, slightly over fair value, where we're getting it at 148. So we're buying an edge, and the market is absolutely tanking. Yeah, MGM is an embarrassment. I literally just bet that to track it. All right, here's a good question right here. Is beating CLV consistently a good strategy for being profitable, or does it just show that you're following the dumb majority money? So the steam, it's not the majority of money. It's the sharp money. That's what steam is. So books like, you'll see all the time where graphics will pop up of 90% of the public money is on this side of the line. that does not mean that the line is moving towards the public. So books will take a lot of action on one side of the line and not move the line. They will only move on sharp money. So books like Pinnacle, Circle, and Bookmaker, these are real bookmakers that are moving their lines based on the action they're receiving from certain bettors. So their sport, like let's just call it Circa. They have all these different accounts that are betting into them, and they have every single account profiled as this is a rec better. You know, they never beat the closing line. They don't put in sharp bets. Versus they have accounts that are very sharp, and they know that these are professionals. So when 6 professional accounts come in and hammer one side of the line, that's when they drop their odds, and that's the steam, or that's what's creating the value, is when sharp bettors or professional bettors move the market. It doesn't always mean that that's where the most money is coming in on. It just means that's where the sports books are moving their odds and the sharper books. So we typically see, I mean, this is the perfect example of Pinnacle, which is this pink line, dropping their odds. Pinnacle gets the information first and can move their markets quicker than books like MGM, because MGM just allowed me to bet $10 into this market. And if I went to Pinnacle, I could bet $20,000 in this market. So if I had an edge, you know, if I was creating my own numbers and had an edge, where do you think I'm going with my information first? I'm going to Pinnacle to put down $20,000. So Pinnacle all of a sudden has my account flagged as a sharp better. They see me hit it for a max bet. And then 3 other guys that are also sharp hit that for max bets. They drop their lines. And it basically is an indicator, like, you know, if Pinnacle got slammed at 20K limits, they dropped it to plus 156. And it looks like they got hit again at 156. They dropped it to plus 150. More money's coming in at plus 150. They drop it to 145. They get hit again. So it's like, if sharp bettors are buying this at plus 145, you know, plus 140, it's getting priced off of, then we are getting a very good price at plus 150. So it's not necessarily about the majority of the money. It's more about the sharp money. Like you hear it all the time, like Vegas will, like Vegas almost like it's kind of, people assume that the books have zero risk and they're just balancing like perfectly 50-50, but they will take more risk on one side of the market if they believe their number is good, and they'll just let people keep slamming one side if it's public money. That's where you see reverse line movement, is where, you know, 75% of the money is on one side, and yet the line continues to get priced for making that side more appealing, which doesn't make sense to most people until you understand, you know, that kind of logic. Hopefully that answered the question. Wow, Erica at plus 167. Oh, under 6.5. Damn. Yeah, that's a really good price. Was that from the bot, or how did you come up with that line? Did you make that market? Kyle cashed out an over and went towards the under. Yeah. Yeah. If you like, this was almost looks like kind of a setup to where the over was kind of getting good directional movement most of the day. And then once it got to that max limit, it got tanked. Most of the time I spend looking at the FanDuel channel, but FanDuel seems to be down right now, so we can't do that. Dolphins plus 7. So these are pretty much opening lines. I mean, this is what I like to see this a lot, actually. Man, the Dolphins look bad last week too, but Dolphins opened up 7 on Bookmaker and are sitting at 7.5 now. Circa did move the opposite way, went from 7.5 to 7. So I like to see what move happened more recently. So the more recent move was this 3 o'clock move, where Circa dropped from 7.5 to 7. But Bookmaker's still sitting at 7.5. So I don't hate betting this at plus 7. I don't know if it would move off of the 7 number, though. It could go back up to 7.5. So maybe this is one I would just wait on. It's really early in the week. I was just talking about being more selective on football, so I should probably just wait. And it's a smaller edge, too. So here's more Lions Bucks showing that steam towards the overs. So we do not want to take these unders. Well, these are full game overs, so let's try to get a first game on I mean, full game on Novig here. So we want the over 52.5 at fair value is minus 112 for the opposite side. So we want to probably post a minus 110 at least over 52.5 on Novig. So yeah, we won't even be best in market at all. We might have to become closer to fair value if we want the over. I'm just going to post it at 110, but I don't think this is going to get filled. So I'm not even going to be. I'm going to be pretty deep into this order book. There's going to be 11K sitting in front of me. So if I wanted to jump that 11,000, I would have to post a minus 113. Sorry, minus 115. That's kind of steep. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. But I'll post minus 110. I don't think this is getting filled, but these markets are so tight though. Let's just look here. It's so, yeah, I mean, it's so hard to get ahead of the order book. You're going to have to post something negative value probably. You can get Bucks plus 5.5 or plus 110, or the Lions minus 5.5, minus 111. So less than a penny spread difference. Same with the money lines. Same with the totals. This is where I tell people if you want to be a degen and bet without an edge, you do it on Novig because you're gambling for free. There's no these are fair value prices on both sides of these lines because there's no vig baked in at all. You're not paying minus 110, minus 110. You're literally like the over market plus 100 minus 100.8. Like you're paying no vig. You can gamble for free essentially because these markets are so tight. So they're good for rec bettors and they're good for professional bettors. I mean, the rec bettors just aren't educated enough to know that betting at plus 100 versus minus 110 matters that much when it means everything, but they just don't want to pick the winners. College mainly look at circuit and bookmaker spreads and total numbers going up or down. Yeah, I mean, I really want to see all the books starting to move one direction for sure. But I do weigh whatever book moved more recently more than the rest of them. So if I see like bookmaker moved, an hour ago, then I trust that they have the more up to date information than Circa, who moved 6 hours ago. So just something to think about too when you're looking at the charts. Maybe I'll get lucky and FanDuel will be up. I don't want to hit some promos, so. Also, first day of basketball, NBA tomorrow. And then we got college basketball coming up after that. It is the best time of year to be a plus EV better. Let's see. I'm looking at all my NBA stuff. Last year, I actually did not do terribly good in the NBA. I gave a ton back during the playoffs, honestly, but this is all-time NBA for me. 3.8% ROI, right on that 70% CLV beat. Extremely good expected value, 3.3. So it's nice to see the ROI, the true value, and the expected value actually lined up pretty well. Top books, DraftKings crushed it. DraftKings player props absolutely hammered them. Here's a good question that Eric asks is how long do Novig pings last from your main when you're not in the main markets before they get tapped out? Generally seems it might be tough to get EV on Novig quick enough. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the issue where it's like if I get a Novig ping and there's $45, I'm taking it all. And unfortunately, the guy behind me on SharpMoney is not getting the rest of it. So it's kind of tough, but you can always go in there and remake that order and hopefully someone fills it. So that's what I would say there. But yeah, sometimes I'll purposely just leave like a few dollars. Let's go to the Novig channel. See if there's nothing there right now. But sometimes if I see something come up and it's $250 instead of taking 250, I'll leave $50 there because I know it pinged on everyone else on Sharp Money, so I don't want to take all of it. All right, here's one for today. This is a very alternate under. Seahawks Texans under 36.5 plus 180. Small edge. Circa has so this is DVIG to Circa, which seems weird. I don't know why Circa would have that line. I feel like that should be. But Circa does they have that weird alt market all of a sudden. I feel like Circa doesn't usually post alt lines like that. I don't even know if I can log into Circa. I don't know if I have an account or if I can even see the book without logging in. Okay, I'm lost. Sportsbook. All right, never mind. This is fail. If anyone has Circa available to them, let me know if that line is actually there. I've never seen Circa post that much of an alt line before. Usually they have one main line. That's it. I mean, if it's slight edge to Circa, I'd probably play this. I'll take it. Market's slightly moved down from 42 to 40 on Circa, their main line. No movement really here. I don't know. Maybe I'm forcing this one. Yeah, let's avoid it for now. All right, here's a much better play. This is on Hard Rock, so another book I don't have access to, but I use this to make markets on Novig. So Seahawks Texans, the under clearly seems like the good play here. Bumped to $10,000 pinnacle limits, and they dropped their line from minus 153 to minus 156. So it's actually not that big of a move. It's only 3 cents. So it's not a huge drop. Circa has been stable with their main line being under 20 points at minus 105. Bookmaker has been juicing this one towards, they're juicing it back towards the under 20 and a half. So I kind of like this. I'll probably post this one. Seahawks Texans under 22 and a half. I don't have that. All right. Go to Pinnacle Odds Dropper to check these alt lines. So I want to play a first half under. Let me look at the full game under. Full game under is set to, what's the main price right now? Under 40 and a half. I mean, the under is pretty stable. We see a limit to 20K and the odds drop a little bit. What does Novig have? Under 41 and a half. Would really want to buy minus 108 here or something. Yeah, these markets are so tight. There's nowhere to get in right now unless you're like outpacing the market. All right, let's try to look at FanDuel really being down sucks because that's where I find all my plays. All right, let's look at maybe some basketball. So here's one. And what I'll say too is the NBA is starting up tomorrow. Don't bet these heavy or frequently to start. Give it a week or so before you really start betting heavily into NBA prop markets and main markets. It's just kind of a crapshoot early on. But we have SGA here under 7.5 assists, minus 150 on MGM. And you can see this is the pinnacle line, which is just getting destroyed. They have Shea under 7.5 assists at minus 212. So this is a play, a 5% edge MGM. If you guys can still get down on MGM, absolutely hit this line. There's tons of opportunities like this, but once you get limited on MGM, you're talking about $2 to $5 max bets on props. It just sucks. DraftKings was another one that I kind of crushed them on. Lonzo Ball over 3.5 assists, about a 4% edge here. Let's see. Pinnacle's just dropping. FanDuel's kind of stable, but this is a DVIG between FanDuel and Pinnacle. Your DVIG books right here list the books that are used in the DVIG process. So these are the books we use: Circa, Bookmaker, Pinnacle, BetOnline, and FanDuel. Those are the books in our DVIG process, and we are currently working on getting all of the most recent line movements up for each one. But that's kind of a work in progress right now since the season just started. Let's see if we can get this one in though. Lonzo Ball over 3.5 assists, plus 115. We'll see if DraftKings website works. So the +4 also same thing. And then I think DraftKings will probably have promos, so I'll probably hit some promos while we're on stream. Actually, we'll see what the promo team did in the chat. Yes, BetOnline, Prop Builder. That's what they use for their odds. It's pretty. I mean, their live Prop Builder sucks. I know that a lot of the odds jam guys were absolutely just destroying BetOnline or Prop Builder live, but pregame they're pretty good and they move pretty well on action. Yeah, Bill. So I truly have death limits now on MGM, where for a long time I was $2 to $3 on, the props and stuff, and I was still getting like close to $70 to $100 on main lines for MLB and stuff. Now it's all $10 flat bets, which to me that's I'm done. I'm done betting with them. So like even DraftKings, I'm pretty cooked on. That's why I do so much work on the exchanges. $3 for that max bet for Alonzo Ball over 3.5 assists. Ooh, king of the end zone. We got to talk about this one. Let me read the rules real quick to make sure. All right, this is to score the longest touchdown. $5 minimum bet. Place it on a touchdown score, first touchdown score, or anytime touchdown score. If your player gets the longest touchdown, split $2 million. All right, cool. So logic here is don't pick someone obvious. You don't want to split $2 million with 2 million people. So who is going to get a long touchdown? Let's see. Horton, I feel like I got to pull up the ESPN game logs. I think let's go. Oh, that's the wrong team. Horton's on the Seahawks, I believe. I'm just seeing how many targets he's getting. If he gets a couple targets. Let's see. And we'll just look at this game against. We'll look at the Bucs when they're throwing a little more. Horton, 3 receptions, 4 targets, the long of 21. I don't even know who some of these guys are. Young. I think Horton's not a bad play. Barner getting 7 targets too, kind of a lesser known name guys. Can we pick defense? I thought there was a rule that you couldn't. Or maybe that's the FanDuel one now. Because last year I was picking defenses every time. But I feel like maybe it's FanDuel's that you can't. Or is yeah, so it must be FanDuel that the defenses doesn't matter. But is the defense the is now the defense the chalk play where everyone's just gonna pick the defense because if it's a punt return or kick return, you're getting 90 plus yards? I don't know. Is that the square play now? I don't I mean, the defense is probably the right play. The question is everyone else gonna yeah, you definitely can here. So all right, maybe you know what? I like that play. Let's pick a defense. And if Torrey Horton scores it, I'm not gonna be happy. All right, so let's see. Let's just go like the biggest underdog on the board, the least amount of points scored in this game. Let's just go Houston defense. And Houston anytime plus 500. All right, that's what we're going with. First play of the game, 99 yards. Texans are home, right? Oh, they are away. All right, perfect. Um, let's see. All I want to do is bet. All right, I might be able to bet some money on DraftKings. Woody Marks under 2.5 receptions, 2% edge. Pretty good drop from Pinnacle and Bookmaker. They're sitting at minus 171, minus 170. It's a two-way DVIG. I like this a lot. So Woody Marks under 2.5 receptions, minus 134. Let's see if we can get that. I might post that on the exchange too. It would exclude special teams. I don't think so. We're about to find out. I mean, if we have to figure out, because does the bet say? Yeah, it's well, maybe I don't think the promo says it excludes it, but it says Houston's defense / special teams. Disregard. All right. I wasn't sure. I could have been wrong too. All right, let's see what I can get down on this Woody Marks play. Woody Marks under 2.5. Primetime football on DraftKings. Big minus odds. Maybe I can get down a little bit. All right, is this broken as well? Minus 139. Okay, we'll just max it out. Let's see what we got. Woody Marks under 2.5 receptions, $13. Go to Novig. Receiving under 2.5 receptions. Minus 148. Even these, like, I don't know how these markets are so tight. What did we just pay for this? So minus 145 is fair value. We'll go minus 140. Minus 140. We'll be top of the book. And we'll get even more value. Top of book on a prop. I think that'll probably fill. Torrey Horton over receiving yards. I'm probably just going to go right to the exchanges here. Let's see. Torrey Horton over 20.5 receiving yards. I don't have it. That's the one thing that Novig, they don't have all the alt lines. It's the one negative sometimes. All right, here are all the Novig plays. I don't know why I wasn't looking here. Sam Laporta under 4.5 receptions. I don't movement here. It's kind of up and down, so I'm going to avoid that one. I try to be very cautious on the exchanges. Here's a crazy one. 12% edge. There's no way this is still here. KDOT under 36.5. Under 36.5 or minus 120. Okay. Sorry guys, but I got the rest of that one. This is like, that's the kind of liquidity that like you just know someone posted $20 on his over and you just got $17 like out there. So that one's dead. But yeah, that's a clearly mispriced line. I don't know why someone posted that. I'll delete that message now. It's gone. Up and down movement. I'm still going to avoid anything like that. This is still going up. All right, here's a play that is mostly down. Sam Laporta over 46.5 receiving yards. So Circa is currently sitting at 48.5. So we're getting better number at 46. We're looking for the over. Pinnacle's at 45.5. They have minus 130. Bookmaker is minus 137 at the same one. So DVIG just to Bookmaker, but we can see where Circa and Pinnacle are also sitting. And it's the Bookmaker line moving from minus 130 to 3 to 137. So Sam Laporta over 46.5 receiving yards. So this is one where, $700 liquidity. I don't love buying into that, but I think the market was moving enough that I'm confident that the 3 sharp books have an idea what's going on. But I almost want to just make this market at a better price because the price is garbage for the under. So if I just do minus 105, I'm going to get way better value. I know that I'm going to get really good value. And it's going to create a plus 105 for the under. So that looks great compared to this current order book. Experience betting top down on props and Novig versus the main lines. I would say it's much harder and you have to be much more cautious. Like I said, this is kind of where the sharps go to get their money down. So if you see massive amounts of liquidity and it's popping up as a plus EV play, I'd be a little worrisome. I'm really looking for multiple books confirming there's an edge and downward action. This stuff right here, up and down, that stuff sketches me out. It has to be like clear as day for me to take a prop on the exchange because I know how beatable they are. So here's one where it's like kind of up and down, but most of the market is moving this way, and it's a 3-way DVIG here with Pinnacle, Circa, and Bookmaker all having 5.5. So this is a bet that I'm probably going to take Nico Collins over 5.5 receptions. Was that plus 116, plus 120? So price is gone. I'll make it. And like while I'm here, I'm going to make these. I don't know if these are going to fill, but I'm going to just place something that has massive value and is going to be top of the order book. That's kind of the approach I'm taking here. So we know fair value is plus 113. I'm posting plus 130. If this thing gets filled, we're looking really good. It's going to be top of the order book. So maybe someone will grab it. And if not, it's only a waste of a couple seconds. Montgomery over 1.5 receptions. Pinnacle just moved. It's only like 5 cents, and it's a solo DVIG using only one book. So confidence level is kind of down here. 2.5% edge. Don't love it. I'll click into this, but if it's not like liquidity, I'm probably just going to hold off of it. So there is, yeah, some massive money backing 125. So this is a play I want to lay off of for those. Like I'm just more picky about it. Woody Marks over rushing attempts. I think my model actually liked this too. It's a lot to do with game scripts, but I think yeah, my model likes this as well. So this is a bet that I'm confident in because the model agrees with it. Let's go check this one out. Woody Marks over 8.5 minus 113. $1,700 worth of liquidity. Nah, I don't know. This is another tough one. We have a decent amount of good movement here. It's got a notification from Novig. Nico Collins orders filling. That's good. I forgot what I posted him at. This is probably a play I'm laying off where the movement is only a few cents backwards. My model kind of agrees with the over, but they're underdogs in this game, so I don't love betting over rushing attempts or yards when the game script could be against them quite a bit. Bad movement, bad movement, good movement. Nick Chubb over receiving yards. Overall good movement here. The edge is pretty big. Let's see. If there's not thousands of dollars of liquidity backing this, I'm probably going to take it. Chubb over 6.5 receiving yards minus 113. I'll take it. I'm going to only take half of it, so there's $300 there. There's be 150 left. Torrey Horton over 1.5 receptions. The edge is big enough, and the movement is kind of there too. So this looks like might be the last play. Over 1.5 receptions, minus 117. All right, so we'll take this one for. I'm just going one when I'm taking from the market. I'm only going $150, which is like a quarter unit for me. I'm just tracking these bets kind of still without diving in completely, just because still a little skeptical of betting props on the exchange sometimes. More comfortable when I'm making the market at a really good price. All right, let's see if this Fanatics plays are up here still. Lions, Bucks again. Try hitting this over again. All right, this one's here. I don't know why. I don't know why it's here. But Fanatics is hanging this line right now. Over 51.5 points minus 125. Getting unable to place bet. So I wonder if they're down too. Can anyone place a bet on Fanatics right now? I don't know if it's just me. Let me try logging in, logging back out. This is a really, really good play if we can get this. Lions Bucks over 51.5 minus 125. All right, it's not working for me. I think they must be having an outage too. All right, that's probably going to do it for this stream. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more YouTube content coming, long form videos, and we're probably talking about like 3 live streams a week now. I need to figure out my schedule. Definitely for Thursday Night Football every week, we'll probably be on like 6:30, 7 o'clock up to the game. Hopefully the damn sports books websites work by then. But looking forward to that on Thursday, and just looking forward to making as much Sharp Money content as possible. It's going to be my goal to grow this channel. So like I said, if you have not subscribed to the Sharp Money YouTube channel yet, please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button. All right, good luck on your bets. Hopefully these books start working. I can actually get some bets down today. But all right, see you guys. Thanks for stopping in.